Yo, yo, we back again. Grand Rising, Grand Rising to you all. It's another day, it's another beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day. What's up, y'all? Back again for your daily dose of encouragement. Yeah. But let's not waste no time. Let's get into it. You know, I feel like the encouragement for today has to be centered around your power. Harness and reclaim your power. You know, a lot of times we give our energy, which is our power, our time, our attention, and our intention, our efforts. That's your energy, because those are the things that you cannot get back. Once you dispel it, once you disperse it, it's gone. Now, of course, there are things you can do to revitalize and rejuvenate and regain your energy, but when you become aware of your energy, of your power, of your source power, and you become aware of how easily you can give it away, and when you become aware of how powerful it is, one tends to prioritize where it goes, you know. So, with that being said, it's time that you reclaim your energy. It's time you take back your energy, call back your energy. Think it, speak it, say it. Like right now, I want you to say, I take back my energy. I call back my energy. I claim my energy. I reclaim my energy. It don't matter how that energy was being used before. That time is gone. It's past. Don't trip on it. It is what it is. We here now. And right now, we are reclaiming it. We are taking it back. You got to understand, I'm looking at the bird right now. You got to understand how powerful you are innately, internally. Because everything that's going on around you, everything that's happening in your life, in your environment, in your atmosphere, even that environment and the atmosphere that you are living in currently, today, right now, in this moment, you have to understand you created that environment. The reality that you are experiencing right now in this moment, you created it by way of your energy. Your energy is your thoughts. Your energy is your habits. Your energy is the actions that you take, you know, because the action you take starts from the thoughts that you have, you know. So if you having negative thoughts, you will produce negative actions, even if it's subconscious, especially in the subconscious, because that's where everything is created. Everything is created subconsciously. That's why you have to be conscious about what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're thinking. Who are you entertaining? Where are you giving your energy to? Who are you giving your energy to? What activities are you giving your energy to? What are you putting your effort out into? These are all the things that shape your reality. But it all starts with your thoughts. It all starts with your mind, you know. So in this moment, you probably are realizing, like, yeah, I've been kind of, in the past, I've been caught up in thinking a certain way or having a certain perspective, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we all done been there. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been there. Everybody has been there. Even the people that you look up to, that you feel inspired by, they've been there. The sun beaming on me right now. Oh, it's bright. But all it takes is a shift in your mindset and your thoughts and your perspective. Because if you shift your mind from thinking, oh man, this is going to be, man, I really don't want to get up today, then it's going to be hard to get up. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I don't feel like doing it. Then you're not going to feel like doing it. But if you tell yourself, man, I'm excited to get up today. I'm glad, I feel good about getting up today. It's going to be good. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I'm gonna tell you something, specific example, right? I was in that mindset. There was a point in time I was in that mindset, not having an optimistic perspective. You know, I was allowing my environment to influence me, because this was before I realized that I actually influenced my environment. And then I came across the information that I'm sharing with you all now. It was like, yo, what if instead of waking up in the morning, you shift your mindset from dreading, like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed right now, I don't want to go to work, or whatever it is that you got going on. What if you shifted your perspective, your mindset, from that to, man, I feel good today. I'm excited to get this day started. Today will be a great day. What if you just said those things? Even if you don't necessarily feel it in that moment, but what if you just started out saying it? Don't allow how you feel to dictate how you move. Because feelings are emotions, which is energy and motion, emotion, you know what I'm saying? So you can't allow your energy that is constantly in motion to dictate how you move and how you feel, because emotions sway. You know what I'm saying? That's why mood swings, because your emotions change. You wake up one day, you could be feeling happy or you could be feeling sad, but I guarantee you the next day you might be feeling differently. That's because your energy is constantly in motion, and so many things influence our energy. That's why you can't allow your emotion to dictate how you actually feel and how you navigate. But like I said, even if you don't feel what you're saying, focus on allowing yourself to feel what you're saying. So I could be like, I wake up in the morning and like, man, today's gonna be a good day. Which I don't know how you could feel like it's not gonna be a good day, because the day ain't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? But today's gonna be a good day. And I'm really focusing like, yeah, today's gonna be a good day. I'm really working hard to feel that energy. I'm really working hard to feel that state of being. Like, nah, today's gonna be a good day. Things are gonna go well today. You want to know what happens when you do that? You've just set the standard for what you expect for the day. So now everything you come across, you're going to see it in its highest intention for you, and its best intention for you, because you said, I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be a great day. So you're naturally only going to be in tune to the things that pan out great for you. Something bad could still happen that day, but you're not going to pay no attention to it because you've already set your alignment to the great things that's going to happen today. So say you go to work after you've said, I'm going to have a good day, I'm going to have a great day. Say you go to work. Say it's just everything is going wrong at your job. You know, this is out of order, or your particular area of, it's just a lot that you got to get done. While most people might complain like, man, I got to do all this today, you might go in and be like, man, I'm glad I got work to do today, so it's going to make my shift go by that much quicker. That's you saying, that's how you can cultivate. That's how you switch your mindset, shift the perspective. Because it's all about how you look at it. It's all about how you interpret it. One person could interpret it as, man, I got all this work to do today. Whereas another person can say, wow, I got a full day ahead of me. That's going to make this day go by so much quicker because now I get to focus on getting this work done. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I really went through. You know what I'm saying? I remember I actually just told y'all a real experience that I actually went through. That was a real experience that I went through. And I remember being aware because I was in the moment. I was like, wow, I'm really having a great day. I said I was going to have a great day. I'm having a great day. The people that I'm working with aren't necessarily having a great day because they're complaining because of everything that's happening. But me, I'm actually feeling good because I look at it as like, wow, my shift is about to go super smooth and super fast because I get to focus all my energy on getting this done, and then I get to leave because I'm gonna look up and be like, oh, it's time to go. And now I feel even better because I'm done with work and I get to leave and I get to go home and do what I want to do. Your energy shapes your mindset. So you gotta be in control of your energy. And a lot of people are not in control of their energy because they're just giving it out to things that they aren't aware is draining them. Well, it's draining you because you got to give your energy out one way or the other. But how you feel about it is different because I made an intention of giving my energy to this thing. And because I made an intention to give it to this thing that is positive, I'm not necessarily going to feel drained because I wanted to give it to this positive source, to this positive thing, this thing that's going to feed back into me, So while I may have had to exert physical energy to get the job done, I feel good about myself because I was in good energy, good spirits. I gave it to something that I knew was going to benefit me, like going to work and getting a paycheck. And then I got the work done. So now I feel good about myself because, man, I got the work done. I was in good spirits doing the work. And now I'm off work. And now I get to go home or go do whatever it is that I want to do. That's just one example. But you have to be aware of your energy. You have to claim your energy and be intentional about where you disperse it, what you give your energy to. And energy, I don't just mean physical exertion. I know the example I gave was about me going to work. Um, but it's also about, what do you give your attention to? Are you constantly watching negativity, you know what I'm saying, all day? Are you constantly inviting negativity around you all day? Are you participating in negativity all day? Like, are you talking negative about somebody? Are you gossiping? Are you hanging around people who talk about negativity? Like, me personally, I remember there was one time I was in an environment. I was sitting down in an environment, open area, so anybody could choose to be there. And while I'm there, I'm just minding my business, focusing on myself, just kind of meditating a little bit, just sitting in peace and silence. Then some people came into that environment as well. It's an open environment. And they started having their own conversation. Now, because I'm in the environment, I can hear their conversation. And the conversation that they're having is gossiping. They're talking about somebody behind their back negatively. You know, me personally, I don't feel like you should talk about somebody behind their back, period. If you got something to say, good or bad, tell it to them. Because if you can't tell it to them, it's probably not that important. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention it's a negative thing to do. But anyway, they're talking negative about somebody. And I was like, I don't even want my energy to be subjected to this negative thing that's taking place. Even though I'm not necessarily engaging in the conversation, I'm not talking, I'm not sitting next to them, but it's just about the fact that I'm in the vicinity for that energy to commingle with mine. And I was like, I gotta protect my energy. So you know what I did? I got up and went somewhere else. Because I understand how energy works. I didn't want nothing to do with that type of energy. I didn't want to invite it. I didn't want to allow my energy to be present to that. Because energy is frequency. And I'm into like music and all of that stuff, you know. I drop my links down, you know what I'm saying? If you want to check me out, I appreciate it. But, you know, if you inclined to. But in music, everything is frequency. Everything around you is frequency. Everything is energy and waveforms. Everything. And one thing I've learned when I'm like working on music is frequencies at some point will overlap. At some point. So you might be operating from a high frequency, but if you allow yourself to spend enough time with somebody operating from a lower frequency, you hear and they hear, there will at some point become overlapped. There's a point in time where both of you all's frequencies will be in sync and overlap, which means it's like, think of like what is it, when all the planets align, you know what I'm saying, like the solar eclipse. Think of it like that. Our solar system, all the planets are orbiting at their own frequency, but there's a certain point in time where all the planets align. You know what I'm saying? You know, they talk about the retrogrades and all of that, solar eclipses. That's real. That's nature. That's natural. And we as human beings do that too. So the more time you spend with somebody, y'all could be having different frequencies. But if you allow yourself to be in that orbit long enough, your frequency and their frequency at some point will overlap. And the issue with that is what might happen is you might pick up some of their frequency tendencies. You know what I'm saying? I said, when you become aware, conscious is another word. When you become aware of your energy, how easily it is given out, and how easily it can be influenced upon, you'll understand the importance of protecting your energy. Not hanging out with everybody, not going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Be selective, be discerning, you know. And when you be selective and you choose to operate with discernment, you begin to reclaim your energy. And once you reclaim your energy, now you have to take the action of choosing what do you want to give your energy to. And hopefully you give your energy to things that produce more positivity, more abundance. That's what you want in life. Sometimes you gotta separate to connect, you know. Connect with what's aligned for you. Connect with what's meant for you. So, hear me today. Like I mentioned earlier, state it out loud. Say, I reclaim my energy. I call back my power. I take back my energy. I take back my power. And from here moving forward, I give my energy to my highest good, to my highest self, to my highest benefit, to my greatest benefit. Things only align for me. And you ain't gotta be malice with it. You ain't gotta be malicious. You ain't gotta be, I can't hang with y'all no more because y'all be on that negative. You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta say nothing. Just be like, just separate yourself. Reclaim your energy. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Allowing me to share. Allowing me to do what I was called to do. You know, I'd greatly appreciate it if you can give me a like and a subscribe. You can comment, talk to each other, converse with each other, motivate each other, encourage each other. You know, if you feel so inclined to do so, because once again, I'm not here to force nothing. I'm here to just let everything flow. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to use your power. But you know, man, as always, man, be encouraged at the end of the day. You watching me right now. I'm looking at you. I'm looking right at you. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. All right. Much love, much respect. Y'all be easy.